off-road racing, it's about the terrain, the community, the endurance, and we're here to win.
These cars are fast, they're powerful, they're built for brutal competition, and I just love going flat out.
Just very passionate about the whole event, and obviously the track's a really good track for us, and every year it gets better and better, so it's great.
It's time to get the 2019 season started.
Hello and welcome to another big year of the BF Goodrich CAMS Australian Off-Road Championship. This gruelling three-round series starts in the rural community of St George, Queensland. From there, the biggest show in Aussie off-road racing, the annual stop in Alice Springs for the Finke Desert Race. And then once again, the tour wraps up on the slippery, muddy roads of Rainbow in northwest Victoria. This is the third year that St George, located 500 k's west of Brisbane, has hosted the series opener. And for this year's Cobb Co Hotel St George 399, hot, dusty conditions for the 74 competitors. Plus, major changes to the circuit. Our man Trackside is Greg Rust.
The organisers listened to some feedback after last year's event, so for 2019 the track has been extended to 67 k's. The lap is some 20 kilometres longer now. The Baker's Dozen remains a highlight, but this dry dam section is new and it's fantastic. In addition to housing the pit area, fans need only walk a short distance to see them launch over jumps, slide up and round some berms, as well as some flat out straights. It is an exhilarating combination with lots of reminders not to go too hard too early. The Pro Buggies should have the upper hand on the side-by-sides this year in outright terms, and the layout seems to really lend itself to extreme two-wheel drive. The event itself has 2 days of competition, 6 laps in total, a fraction over 400 kilometres of racing. The quickest combined time for the weekend will be crowned the St George winner.
St George, I think, is a great track. I reckon it's suited for my class. It's nice and tight and not so much fast stuff in there, but taking off from the start line, that jump, I think is very different.
A lot of it's the same, but then they've added some stuff in at the dams, put some big jumps in and some nice corners, so there's some cool shots out there, I reckon, for the photographers.
The dam is very unique. We haven't seen any other races with a big dam like that before, so from a spectating point of view, it's going to be awesome for sure.
Tight at the start, pretty tight and windy. The smaller Can-Ams and smaller side-by-sides will suit them for the ground, I think.
Very long straights and high powered, like very high speed. A lot different to most tracks we go to, it's very tight. So looking forward to be able to open the car up and get right into it.
Parts of it will suit the truck, parts of it we're going to have to tiptoe and probably won't suit us very well at all. It's going to be the same for other classes. Part of it's going to suit the side-by-sides and the smaller cars, and parts of it probably won't. So it'll be a good leveller for everybody.
This is arguably the most important part of the weekend. Off-Road's answer to a circuit racing shootout. They use just the first 11 k's of the course. The result determines a seeding order for the start. The hope is that it settles the red mist, the nerves, but some are going all out here with good reason, and that's great for spectators.
Road position is going to be key. The dust is incredible. Like, it is so fine, and it's going to be hanging in the trees. You're not going to be able to drive. If you're getting into someone's dust, you're going to have to wait, and then you lose some time. And why have you worked so hard to make the car fast when you're sitting in dust? So, yeah, prologue's everything.
Prologue was full of entertainment, commitment, and signs of drivers who pushed too hard. Everyone was absolutely on the limit. 2017 champion, Matt Martin. This wild finish cost him multiple spots. At the top of the order, some familiar names. Third quickest, West Aussie, Bo Robinson. Second, a great start to the event for Josh Howells. But it was defending champ Shannon Wrench, quickest in prologue. He averaged 93 kilometres per hour. Wrench finished 7 seconds clear of the field. Further down the order, the margins were much tighter. Jason Richards impressed, first in Pro Light. Toby Waitley quickest in side-by-side turbo.
You averaged nearly 90 k's an hour, best of the side-by-sides and in the top 10. Congratulations, great start.
Yeah, thank you. It's a good place to be to start, I think.
What's been the little secret? Was it full attack?
Yeah, just flat out basically, and push as much as we can and take the best lines possible and see how we went.
Well, I was the fastest until I broke it. So, no, look, we're just had one of those things. Turbo boost pipe that goes across the top of the engine just let go, and she popped. It sounded like a tyre letting go. Just went bang like that. I said that had no power. And we're here. We fixed it. Done a quick patch job. Thanks to the boys at Mitsubishi there, Jeff Pickering. Finished a radiator hose off his truck. No worries. A couple of hose clamps and away we go.
Despite competing in a side-by-side turbo, Toby Waitley is once again a threat for the outright championship. The class structure allows for multiple vehicles to compete in the same race. While there are 11 different classes, the field can be roughly broken into 4 different categories. You've got buggies, trucks, four-wheel drives and side-by-sides, which are all-terrain vehicles. Typically, the outright fight is between the Pro and Pro Light buggies, the high-flying extreme two-wheel drive trucks and the light, nimble side-by-sides. This year's contenders are split evenly amongst those classes.
Headlining our contenders list, 9-time champion Shannon Wrench. He chalked up his first in 2004. Now the sport's most successful driver is taking aim at number 10. One of his big threats is Josh Howells. The 24-year-old from Sydney is also in a pro buggy and determined to better his 3rd overall last year. Josh's older sister, Ali Howells, runs in Pro Light. She finished top 10 outright in 2018 and is one of 3 female drivers this weekend. South Australian Toby Waitley is fearless and fast. The reigning side-by-side turbo champion was incredibly 2nd overall and eyeing up outright wins.
Got a couple of fast guys like McNiven and Lovett. They're always up there giving me a push, and I'll push them, they push me, and it's a good little battle we got going.
Yeah, look, Wrench, he'll just go out front for sure. There'll be no doubt on that. I think Josh Howells, obviously Gartner, myself, Burrows, never discount Mark, that's for sure. He's an absolute legend.
And finally, putting the E in entertainment is 4-time Australian Rally champion Simon Evans in a side-by-side.
The first section of the St George 399. 2 laps of the 67-kilometre circuit. 1 minute gaps between the cars, a recipe for blinding, choking dust. Quickest in prologue, Shannon Wrench, first away. Strong performers on the opening lap, Toby Waitley up to 4th, and Jason Richards up to 5th. Josh Howells was fast early and closed in on Shannon Wrench, but came unstuck late on the opening lap. Out of action.
Josh, what's happened?
Oh, mate, I think we ran out a bit of a talent there, so yeah, we just put it over on in one of the right-hand corners there, tight in the trees. We're chasing Shannon through there in a bit of dust, but it was running really well. The car couldn't complain about it, to be honest. So yeah, just a bit unexpected from me. Never put a car over before, but be interested to see the GoPro footage. It just come out of nowhere for me, and yeah, if it kept rolling over, we probably would have been right, but we were stuck on the lid, so yeah, a bit unfortunate. So I think that's our start, to be honest, so unfortunately, yeah.
Back on track, other teams came close to disaster, but just got away with it. The most impressive team on the opening lap, Bo Robinson in extreme two-wheel drive. End of lap 1, Robinson had wrestled the lead from Shannon Wrench with a 42-minute lap time, 38 seconds quicker than the BF Goodrich buggy. But then 3Ks into lap 2, it all went quiet.
Leading at the end of the first lap, Bo, what happened?
Look, yeah, something drivetrain related. I'm not really sure. It sort of stopped just after the end of the first lap. But
we're having a bit of a crack on that first lap. Good. Dust was actually not as bad as I thought, and I thought, well, we'd try and make it up while we could, and yeah, it seems like we did a good job of it, but obviously, yeah, unfortunately the cars failed us. So. It's either radiator or a head gasket or something. Unfortunately, it is what it is. We couldn't get going. We would have limped it if we could.
Matt Martin's second lap was blisteringly quick, up from 17th to 9th. Another big mover, Ali Howes. After a disappointing 48th in prologue, the Pro Light driver up to 32nd by the end of lap 2. The fast pace took its toll. Pro Buggy driver Mark Hardman out on lap 2.
Come around the corner here. I don't know if we're a bit hot, but she's moving around a lot in the rear end, this car, and there was a tree in our way and it didn't want to move, and we just clipped it. We just come up the bank, clipped the tree on the way through and tore the wheel off.
But with a steady performance, the BF Goodrich crew of Shannon and Ian Wrench took out the opening day of 2019 and banked some good points for the title defence.
We knew we were behind a little bit, so yeah, we sort of got a bit of a wriggle on in the second lap, and I think we made up a bit of time, and yeah, all in all, it's going well so far.
Some impressive results after the opening 2 laps. Michael Napier climbed 9 spots to 5th, and Stephen Graham placed his Sportslight Buggy inside the top 10. It's Shannon Wrench on top after day 1. He showed everyone why he's a 9-time champion.
I'm Shannon Wrench, reigning overall champion. I drive the #1 Jimco Pro Class Buggy, and looking forward to getting into it again this year. And the co-driver seat beside me this year, and has been for a long time, is my dad Ian. Been doing off-road racing now for around the last 18 years or so. Just become something we do, and especially it's built as a family as well, so we all enjoy it, and we all enjoy getting away. Yeah, this year we're going for our 10th championship. Will be very special. It'll be a nice even number to get number 10. It's always good to get off to a good start and takes the pressure off a little bit going into the second round in Alice Springs. I drive a Pro Buggy, which is a Jimco American car built in San Diego. So it's a 3.5 litre twin turbo powered V6 Nissan with an Albin's 5-speed transmission, Fox shocks all around, and 37-inch barefoot ridge tyres with around 20 inches of wheel travel. Yeah, we haven't actually changed too much on the car this year. We've made a few little improvements hopefully, but just generally freshened it up, gone over everything, and hopefully we've got in shape to be reliable this year.
One of the things I love about off-road is that it's a family sport in every way. There's all sorts of examples on the official side, and among those competing too. Husbands and wives racing together, partners, there's a father and son combination, and a brother and sister too. Meet Josh and Ali Howes.
Quote unquote from your dad, you were both expensive to raise. Is that true?
Yeah. I would say so, yeah. Josh and I, when we first started our motorsport career, we used to race motorbikes when we were younger. And then we started there, and from there we just sort of kept going through the ranks. And
who kept up with who?
I tried to keep up with Josh. It's always been like that.
What sparked the transition into off-road? How did that happen?
I think Dad wanted us in a roll cage sort of thing, something a little bit, well, you wouldn't think, but it's a bit safer than the old bikes. So A lot of friends were getting hurt and, you know, walking around in crutches. So, yeah, just being in the cage, it helped for a bit. But being there, the new cars now, they're quite fast and probably just as dangerous as a bike. But
Don't tell Mum.
Yeah, maybe convincing Mum was a bit of it. So.
Siblings are often the best of friends, but as you grow up, there are moments of tension too. Yeah. Was it like that with you guys?
Definitely, yeah.
In what way?
I was going to say no.
No, we're good.
You lied.
Yeah. No, I think, yeah, there was definitely its tensions. I think times where we couldn't sit in the car together because we were just both bloody yelling at our heads off at each other and having arguments. But I think that's, yeah, it's definitely a part of it. What we've got now, we've got to just enjoy it, and it's, yeah, it doesn't get much better than it is now.
Busy time coming up in the lead up to Fink. Is that the whole kind of focus for you guys? I know St George is important, but is that the?
I wouldn't say our Fink's our main focus. We sort of tick the box one by one, as Ali said. Yeah, we'll hit up St George, see how we go, and then yeah, carry it on. If there's no dramas and we can be ready for Fink, we'll turn up and give it a go. So race by race, yeah.
Righto, don't hold back here. Final question. You're in different classes, I know. Sunday night after St George, who's got the better result? Come on.
Me, I hope so.
Is that fair?
I hope he does too. I'm just happy for a class. I'll be happy in class, and if he's happy in class, it should work out well.
Yeah.
Have a fantastic weekend.
Thank you very
much.
Thanks
very much.
Ali definitely won the sibling rivalry at St George, with Josh out on day one. The story for day two: twice the laps, twice the kilometres, a brief midday service, the only respite for teams. A warm day brewed once again as the crews launched from the start line. First big moment of the day came for Luke Ayres. Stuck throttle the cause. Crew okay, but out of action. Then the next big story, a puncture for Greg Gartner. The South Aussie clipped a tree, ultimately lost 6 minutes. The high-profile casualties meant some surprise names climbed up the order. Stephen Graham up to 5th in his sports light, and Jason Richards up to 2nd by the end of lap 3. At the halfway point of the St George 399, Graham and Richards were joined by some different names on the leaderboard. Mark Burrows was up to 3rd, and Alan Henson broke into the top 10. They're all still chasing Shannon Wrench. The Warrnambool driver led by a massive 7 minutes and wasn't slowing down.
Our race leaders, Shannon and Ian Wrench, tackled the Baker's dozen. They are attacking it too. For 2019, the trademark whoops have been softened a little. They're not as sharp as last year. The entry and exit has been opened, widened to enable them to go flat out if they're brave enough. And here is the proud dad of the event himself, the Baker, Trent Challenger. Man, some work has gone into this year.
12 months on and we've got bigger and better, an extra 26 kilometres worth of track. We've used some unused cotton dams, thanks to the McIntyre family. So we've turned the whole experience into a big stadium experience in there. We've worked countless hours in between baking. I've been track working and sleep as an afterthought. And increasing experience there for the spectators and the drivers alike, and everybody's loving it. It's fantastic this year. We can't wait for next year.
We can't either. 12 months of hard work and it is paying off.
Lap 4, and finally a mistake from Wrench. That was a very close call. BF Goodrich Buggy able to continue. Not so lucky, Jason Richards. Broken axle while 2nd in the race. Teams raced hard all the way to the refuelling break. up with Greg Gartner.
Greg Gartner's just come in to refuel. What's happened there?
About 8 k's in, we unfortunately got a flat tyre, just nipped a tree, and yeah, unfortunately we had to go limp at least 2-3 k's with a flat to get out of the real tight stuff. So yeah, it's cost us some time now.
Tree root?
Side of a tree. Yeah, side of a tree. We're very lucky. It just come out and just nipped a tree like that much.
That said, you went 11 tenths for the remainder of Section 2 with the risk of only having no spare then.
That's right. We, in the back of our mind, we thought after lap 1, do we come into the pits and get another spare, or do we take the risk? And we took the risk because of the dust factor. We would probably lose another 3 positions, and the dust is a real problem now for us.
How are you going to tackle that final 2 laps?
Flat.
And go flat he did. Gartner's final 2 laps of the race were spectacular. Out amongst the trees, dust became a real problem. Driving blind, Matt Martin didn't stand a chance. He and his daughter Kerry bogged and out of the race. Elsewhere, Ali Howell's great run came to an end. She worked her way up to 24th outright, but was felled by engine dramas. The battle up front was full throttle to the finish. 5th place, a great result for the Pro Buggy of Glenn Towers. 4th, Stephen Graham, an epic drive for a Sport Light entry. Once again on the St George podium, South Aussie Toby Waitley. He drove the wheels off his Can-Am just like he did 12 months ago.
Toby, got to be happy with that epically good weekend.
Yeah, it was good. I don't think you asked for much better. Everything sort of just panned out well in the end, so it's good.
Runner-up, multiple national champion Mark Burrows. He proved he's still got it.
Podium to start 2019 is pretty special. How's that feel?
Well, it's been a great weekend. We've had a ball, actually. So we've just been setting a reasonable pace all weekend, prologue and everything, and just gradually creeping our way up through the field and just at the podium at the right end of the race.
Was that about buying a ticket to the final lap on Sunday? Because there was some high-profile casualties, wasn't there?
There certainly was, yeah. Off-road racing's renowned for it, so... yeah, you never won anything till you cross that finish line. So it's just great to get on the podium and have a crack at the National Series again this year.
In first place, the BF Goodrich Pro Buggy. Back-to-back victories in St George for Shannon and Ian Wrench.
That is a convincing way to start 2019. Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks Rusty. No, it's a good start to the season for us. And yeah, even though we had a bit of a lead going the last 2 laps, you just never know what can happen. So took it a bit steady, but got it home.
Is that the perfect way to lead into Fink? And you're to be congratulated because that's from 2018, 4 wins straight now, mega.
Yeah, no, thanks. As I said, a lot of work's gone into the car and it pays off for sure. So yeah, hopefully we keep the ball rolling in the Fink and we'll get home and start again for that.
Great work.
Thank you. Cheers.
Top 10 outright after 400 grueling kilometres. Greg Gartner salvaged 6th place after the puncture. David Spokes drove to 8th, and former class champion Jeff McNevin started his 2019 campaign in good style. Class battles, always intriguing. Christian Truss won the challenging extreme 4-wheel drive class. Jeff Pickering, another win in his trusty Pajero. And Hans Werner Zettel, first home in Super 1650. That is the 4th straight event victory for Shannon and Ian Wrench. The BF Goodrich team now head to the Fink Desert Race as firm favourites. And once again, this year's Fink is going to be massive. There is nothing in Australian motorsport quite like it. Come and join the thousands of fans and campers and witness this wild event in person. Head to the website for more details. Thanks for watching.